Now imagine for a moment that you could free yourself from one bad habit. So what would that habit be? Now, as a personal growth coach and a lifelong learner, I've asked this question to many of my friends and my students, and the resounding response is always the same: procrastination. There are so many solutions out there to overcome procrastination. Like, for example, you could create a to-do list, reward yourself, and breaking big tasks down into smaller ones. Now, all of these can be very effective if you know that you're procrastinating. But what happens when you're not aware of it? Did you know that there are actually very subtle ways in which we unconsciously block our productivity? So here are 4 sneaky ways that you may be procrastinating without even knowing it, and what you could do about it. So welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie Ledwell, and if this is your first time here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down the bottom here so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. So today I'm going to show you 4 sneaky ways that you may be procrastinating without even knowing it, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Perfectionism. Now, perfectionism is often seen as a positive trait. People view it as being super meticulous or diligent. But let's be honest, sometimes it's just another disguise for procrastination. Sometimes these positive labels are used to justify behavior that ends up being super self-destructive. Now, the pursuit of perfection can leave us feeling really frustrated and disconnected, and it can mess with our sense of self-worth and our confidence. So are we stalling on completing something because we're afraid that it won't be perfect? Now, is that a fear of failure? Is that what's holding us back? So instead of striving for perfection, how about focusing on making progress? It's all about taking the first step forward, even if it's not flawless. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just need to be better than you were the last time. The busy bee syndrome. So constantly checking emails, social media, reading motivational books, attending seminars, or endless research. These are all examples of how we often pretend to be busy instead of being productive. So while there's no doubt that studying and planning and doing research are extremely valuable tools in any project, they can also sometimes turn into a sneaky form of procrastination because of fear. Now, fear of not being good enough, or the fear of facing uncertain outcomes. But guess what? We don't need to know everything before we begin. It's okay to embrace a little bit of uncertainty. So the key here is to be honest with yourself by asking yourself, is my planning and studying and research genuinely necessary to make progress, or am I just using it as an excuse not to start? So do enough of the prep work to get started and feel confident, but don't let it hold you back from taking that first step. Now remember, progress often comes from action, not just endless planning and research. Identifying important tasks and prioritizing them based on urgency and impact can actually help you to prevent the busy bee syndrome and focus on what truly matters. Analysis paralysis. Another sneaky way that you may be procrastinating without even realizing it is through constant analyzing and worrying and rumination. It's those moments when you get caught up in destructive thoughts, when you're doubting yourself and then ultimately damaging your self-esteem. Now, the key to breaking this pattern is to start by asking yourself why you indulge in this rumination in the first place. What need is it fulfilling for you? It's essential to dig deep and understand why you tend to get stuck in your thoughts. Now, sometimes overanalyzing or overthinking gives us a false sense of comfort. It allows us to avoid taking action and facing the risk of failure. It's like a protective shield that we put up to avoid any potential setbacks. So to overcome this vicious cycle and stop using it as a form of procrastination, try these prompts. Identify your triggers. So what situations or thoughts trigger your rumination? Recognize the patterns that lead you into this cycle. Question the purpose. Ask yourself why you engage in rumination. What need does that fulfill? Is it protecting you from something, or does it provide a false sense of control? Challenge any negative thoughts. So when negative thoughts arise, question their validity. Are they based on fact or assumptions? Replace them with positive and empowering affirmations. And you also want to set time limits. Allocate specific time slots for reflection and problem solving so that rumination doesn't consume your entire day. Use mindfulness techniques. Practice mindfulness to bring your focus back to the present moment and prevent your mind from wandering into rumination. Now remember, real productivity is not about consuming motivational content for hours without taking action. It's about channeling that inspiration into tangible steps that produce real results. Now, if you're ready to cut through the noise and to start taking meaningful action, then I invite you to join me and John Assaraf for our upcoming masterclass. It's called How to End Procrastination and Self-Sabotage Forever, and to rewire your brain for unlimited success. Now, during this online event, first you'll discover the real reason why we tend to procrastinate and second guess ourselves instead of actually taking action. And then John and I will teach you how to overcome these destructive inner traits for good. Now, I'm also going to walk you through a live experience to rewire a self-sabotaging habit right there on the spot. So make sure that you reserve your free spot while you still can. My name is Natalie Ledwell, and thank you for watching.